Hey, so I've been out here playing around with these Vego beds, trying to decide the configurations that I want to use for the things that I need to plant like immediately. 1, asparagus, 2, garlic, and 3, onions. Unfortunately, I can't plant those things all together. So I am trying to maximize the space that I have to make sure I can utilize the beds for what I want to use them for. So I like that these beds give you so much versatility that you can spend an hour just trying to think about which way you're going to go with it, and then spend another hour putting them together to look at it and change your mind. So that's kind of where I am right now. So I got the 9-in-1. The 9-in-1 gives you, I wanted longer beds. And so in my head, I was going to use these like I did the other ones I got off of Amazon, where I put 2 of them together and made them longer. And I still can do that. However, like I said, I have to plant 3 things that can't be planted together, which means I need 3 separate beds. So now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. The other issue I have is these trees back here are still shading my garden space. I got one cut down yesterday, and yeah, that one right there. And that wasn't the one that was shading the garden. So I think it did shade it a little bit, but even after that tree has been cut down, I still got a lot of shade in this garden. Now, this is in the evening. It's later in the evening, so the sun is going down over that way. But in the morning time, in the fall at least, the summer was way different. When I came out here to look at this house, the first thing I did was looked at the yard and where I would put the garden. And I came in 3 times. One early in the morning, one midday, and one closer to the afternoon to see where the sun was traveling. And the sun came up over here, and it went way up into this like space right here. So it was just full sun the entire day. That was in the summertime. Now the sun comes up over there and it goes this way. So it goes behind all those trees and then sets over here. So we still got some shade going. And I'm not really happy with that because things like asparagus need full sun. I have a peach tree, a fig tree, and 2 apple trees that need full sun. And I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with those trees yet. But everything is kind of on a time crunch and needs to be planted now. So I'm going to continue to play with these beds. So this is one configuration, a 6.5 by 3.5, I believe. This one is a 2 by 8, which I haven't finished yet. But it's skinnier, as you can see, because you're taking this middle piece out. I might do the asparagus in a 2 by 8. I'm probably going to plant one this year or season, and then I'll plant another bed later so that I can have enough asparagus for my family once it matures. We'll see how it goes. I will give you an update. Again, because of the shade, these aren't growing as fast as I would have liked them to. I mean, they did start off very, very small starts. So they have definitely grown, but this time of year, usually I have way more growth than this. I'm actually started harvesting like at least a pot of mixed greens, if nothing else, but we're having some stunted growth here because of that shade. The other bed over there, the cabbage, I don't know if I'm gonna get cabbage this year. Brussels sprouts might be okay, just really depends. My bok choy they were growing so good, and then the caterpillars came and took them down. So this is probably the best surviving one so far. This is my cabbage here, and they are not really, we'll see. The growth has been stunted. These are some red Brussels sprouts, and they've grown a lot. I'm also not sure about the celery here. I do need to mulch. I keep saying I'm going to mulch, but every time I get ready to, I have some straw over there. I could just pop it open and mulch, but every time I get ready to do that, I come over here and I start doing something else. So I have some bagged soil because I never got anybody to help me come and move those wood chips or that compost that I had delivered. I still am not able to get a tractor right now, and my riding lawnmower does not have a bucket loader attachment available. So with those issues that I was not expecting, getting a bulk load of soil is just not an option. I'm happy I'm able to document that right now because not everyone is in a position to purchase equipment like that. And I'm in that place right now. Even though I have this space, I finally purchased the property. Even though I've slowly been buying and building up this garden space, I still am in a place where I can't afford to go out and spend, $15,000, $20,000 on a tractor. So being at this place is not something that's going to discourage me from doing what I want to do. Now, bag soil is probably the more expensive, not probably, definitely a more expensive route, but two things is happening. I'm slowly building this garden. I'm not putting together 20 beds at the same time. So I've been buying the soil a little bit at a time. That's number one. Number two, I'm getting the soil that has fertilizer, manure, compost, all the nutrients in it. When I got that compost and topsoil delivered, I did not know that it wasn't very good for planting in. And I would have had to amend it, which is not a problem, but again, not having the equipment to turn over that amount of soil, even if I move it with the wheelbarrow, it just would be so much for me right now. So dumping in bags and mixing it up as I dump it in has been just a better process for me in this season where I am today. We'll revisit this a few years from now and see where I am. Maybe I'll have a tractor and I can have bulk deliveries. Who knows? We shall see. But for right now, I am using bag soil. One thing I have done is I've taken wheelbarrows full of the wood chips and I've lined the bottom. So I did that in this one. Wood chips along the bottom. I also cut the grass. So I put some grass clippings in there, mix it in with the wood chips. And then I did take some wheelbarrows of that not so good topsoil, and I put that, so I filled up, these are about a foot. So for the first 6 inches, I did the wood chips, grass clippings, and topsoil. And then I did 3 inches of mixture of the cow manure, the garden soil, and mushroom compost. I also did feed it with a little bit of worm castings, just to be safe. And that's it. That's all I did for these. And actually, I did the worm castings after about a week, when I noticed that some of the plants did not, they kind of didn't even stand up, and they weren't really as green as I would have liked them to be. So I decided to go ahead and feed them at that time. And that helped a little bit. Then we had a whole lot of rain, so that helped as well. But I really think if I had more sun, this would just have taken off like nobody's business. But I digress. So hopefully, as the sun goes down, I haven't finished. I haven't even finished deciding exactly how I'm going to configure this. I have more inside that I haven't even unboxed and pulled the plastic off of yet. I will do that tonight and bring them out in the morning. I do have some clients to do tomorrow, so I probably won't get to putting them together. Friday morning, I should have some time. We don't know how this is going to go. But for right now, I do know that I need to plant my asparagus, my garlic, and my onions, like within this week. And so that's where we are. But thank you for hanging out with me. Until next time, be blessed.